Hello and welcome to Wood Floor Restore, the first all-inclusive DIY kit to be used by you the layperson to restore an old and tired-looking wooden floor. This Wood Floor Restore kit contains 12 different components that will enable you to restore your floor in simple-to-follow instructions in just a couple of days. You have already hired a sander and an edge sander from your local tool hire place and are ready to get started. If you have not yet hired your sanders, we recommend Brandon Tool Hire, HSS or Speedy, as they carry quality machines and can deliver and collect to from your home if needed. Our toolkit will make the daunting task of sanding easy, even for a novice that has never sanded a floor before. A comprehensive instruction manual coupled with this DVD shows you how it's done in detail. Please watch the DVD to the end before you start and witness the miracle transformation from old to new with your own eyes. Empty the kit's contents and ensure it's all there. It should contain a 4-piece pole, an applicator head and handle with one pad for paint, another pad for oiling, a small pad for oiling the edges, a mask, a roll of masking tape, a dust sheet, 2 bags of green paint, a 2.5 litre tin of Treatex hard wax oil, a small sanding stick, this DVD and a written instruction manual. And of course the bucket, which should be kept throughout this refurbishment process. Clear the room of any furniture and floor standing items. You may also want to cover any other areas such as shelves to protect them from dust. 1 dust sheet is included in your kit. Remove any existing floor coverings such as carpets or tiles and expose the wood flooring to be restored. Once you are sure your wooden floor is free from all protruding tacks, nails, staples and so on, you are ready to apply our unique green demarcation paint. Prior to applying this, the floor should be vacuumed thoroughly. To mix the demarcation paint, add 800 ml of water to the bucket. Now empty the paint powder to it. The full amount of paint supplied is sufficient for 25 square meters. For smaller areas, adjust paint and water quantities accordingly. Mix thoroughly with a kitchen whisk or similar. Don't worry, our paint is a totally natural product. However, common precautions apply. The paint may stain clothes and furnishings, so these should be protected, and you should also always ensure not to get paint into the eyes or breathe it in. Cut the pouch open and add approximately 1/3 into the bucket, mixing constantly as you go. Leave up for 10 minutes to thicken, then whisk thoroughly once more. It should be about the consistency of cream. Now assemble the applicator head and the 4-piece pole. Load the applicator pad by dipping it evenly into the demarcation paint. Make sure only the flock pile is covered in paint and not the foam. Now choose a corner of your room furthest away from the door, as you will exit when finished. Place the head squarely on the floor, but slightly away from the skirting boards. Without pressing too hard, pull the applicator towards you. You may find that the green paint is not evenly distributed at first. This is because the pad has not had time to fully absorb the paint. This will get better as you go along. Repeat this process until the entire area has been covered, reloading the pad as and when you need. Be careful not to press too hard on the pad, as this will squeeze too much paint out onto the floor and into any gaps. On untreated floors, the paint will have penetrated approximately 1 mm into the surface, which is roughly the depth of wood that you will remove by sanding. Leave the room and allow an hour to dry. In this time you can wash out your bucket and pad, later to be used for oiling. Now it's time to choose what grade of sandpaper to start with. Sanding sheets and discs are graded using the grit rating. The sanding machine can look very daunting if you have never sanded before, but fear not. Fit the sanding sheets to your sander in accordance with the instructions supplied by your tool hire shop. You will see this grit number on the reverse of the sanding sheets and discs. The higher the number, the finer the sandpaper. For very rough or uneven wooden floors, you may want to start sanding using a rough grit paper such as 24 grit. I have chosen a 40 grit sandpaper for the initial sanding. You attach the dust bag like this. You must change it occasionally because it needs to be changed when full. Now we're ready to start sanding the floor. Now hold the sander at an angle resting on its rear wheels and start the machine in this position. Very slowly lower the sander and start walking forward along the grain. You will see the green demarcation paint being sanded off slowly as you sand. It is giving you a clear indication where you have and have not been. As you come to the end of the room length, start raising the machine towards you again on its rear wheels. In this position, that is not touching the floor, you can now pull it backwards to your starting position. Once you have evenly sanded the floor using the coarse grade paper, you can progress to the second and third sanding stage respectively. Now sanding the edges. Apply the same process when sanding the edges with the edge sander. When using the edge sander, be careful not to leave swirl marks in the floor. This can be avoided by keeping the sander moving, which blends the edge sanding into the sanding carried out earlier on the main floor area. By the time you finish, no traces of the green demarcation paint should be present. The floor and horizontal surfaces such as window ledges must be vacuumed thoroughly to remove all traces of dust. Any green paint still visible in gaps or recesses should be removed with our small sanding stick or a damp scouring pad. Now we're coming to oiling of the floor. Attach the second pad of your applicator pod by simply squeezing the white plastic backing and placing inside the applicator head. Firmly secure under the plastic tabs. Stir Treatex hard wax oil thoroughly before pouring into the wood floor restore bucket. We are applying the first coat. Apply the hard wax oil in the same manner as the demarcation paint, but be careful not to leave overlap marks. Treatex hard wax oil should be applied thinly. Use the small pad supplied or a paintbrush to apply oil to edges or to hard to reach areas. The oil will dry in 3 to 6 hours, or you can leave it to dry overnight, which is what I have done. Once dry, the first coat may look slightly patchy. This is normal and will improve after the second coat. The second coat can be applied in the same manner as the first. Again, allowed to dry overnight. Maximum hardness is reached after a further 24 hours. It is then safe to return the furniture to the room. Thank you for purchasing a wood floor restore kit. We hope you have found this DVD informative and that you enjoy the process and your new wooden floor for many years to come. Please check out our website for a full list of specialist maintenance products you can use to keep your floor looking beautiful for many years to come.